recognize Sheriff Rutherford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And to follow up on Mr. Guest's line of questioning, you know, earlier when I brought this issue up, you talked about, you know, we're flying all these expulsions out and we don't have room for the others who have been adjudicated, that 1.2 million, that have orders to be deported, and we're not moving them. Yet we seem to have the ability to move everybody at the border to the interior of the country. If we've got the means to move people to the interior of the country, why can't we move them the other way and move them south, where most of them are coming from? I don't quite understand that. I want to ask you about an executive order that the president signed sometime back on law enforcement reform that is going to require agencies that partner with federal agencies to meet a whole lot of guidelines that actually came out of the George Floyd Justice Act. This is under Section 19 in the President's executive order. I know how much you rely on partnerships with state and local law enforcement. In fact, in your own written testimony, you mentioned the 4,000 task force officers that are helping you. I believe that this Section 19 is going to create a problem because many of these agencies are not going to be able to meet those Section 19 standards in that executive order. And according to the order, if they don't meet it, they're not going to be able to work with you. Are you aware that this is coming down the line?
I am sorry, Representative Rutherford. I am not tracking that, but
Okay.
I appreciate you bringing that to my
Please look at that because I know how important these partnerships are. It's important to law enforcement that we partner with you all, not just on the, you know, the illegal immigrants, but all of the criminal efforts that we have with HSI and all of that. So I just wanted to be sure you were aware of that. The other thing is, Arrow, you ran that. You know that program inside and out. You know, as a sheriff, one of the things that I really appreciated was the 287G program that allowed, particularly, now I don't want to get into the, you know, the police side of it, but the correction side of it, the jail-based program. You know, those folks have already been arrested. They are clearly the folks that we want to get out of our country. And so can you tell me how is that program working now? Are we encouraging agencies to become 287G, at least on the correction side? Can you talk a little bit about that? Are those numbers going up or down? Because I heard that we were not renewing contracts. Is that true?
So we have not increased the 287G agreements, but
Why not?
We have not eliminated any existing agreements either. So it's the program has sort of remained the status quo. When there was a commitment to take a look and do a review of the 287G program, and I think that's something that the department may continue to want to do
Director,
at some point. From my perspective, I think a totally functioning and appropriately running 287G program is the best thing since sliced bread. We you know, with our workforce, the size of our workforce, they serve as a force multiplier. You know, I'd much rather our officers go into a secure setting at a facility, assume custody of an individual rather than have to do an at-large arrest out in a community. So,
exactly. And so let me ask, can you give me the numbers on whether that program is going up or down over the last several years, or particularly since the Biden administration? And why aren't we growing that program? I know there's got to be some agencies that want to participate in that. And from a public safety standpoint, I mean, you just said it. these are folks that we've already taken off the street. These are the easiest deportations you could possibly have. You don't have to go arrest them. They're already incarcerated.
So I will say again, that the numbers haven't increased or decreased over the last 3 years. We can get you the exact numbers. I think just as there may be a few jurisdictions out there that may want to enter into an agreement, there's probably other jurisdictions out there that would actually have absolutely nothing to do with us, and nor would they want to enter into a 287 G agreement. So I think it cuts both ways. I think we've just been on pause with entering into any new agreements until we figure out where folks might be headed on this thing.
And just very quickly, I know I'm out of time, but you think it's a great partnership?
I think anytime we can arrest someone in a secure location without putting our officers in danger of having to go out and arrest them out on the streets or in their homes or at work, then it's obviously a benefit for us.
Thank you very much. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.